Once upon a time, in a far-off queendom, there lay a small village, quite left of center. A wish, and in this village, more than anything, lived a young maiden, more than life, more than jewels, and her partner. A wish, more than life, and they were childless. I wish, but trying to conceive, more than anything, more than the moon. I wish to go to the hospital, more than life. I wish to go to the hospital, more than riches. A man would give us some sperm. I wish we had a child. I wish we had a child. To go to the hospital? The parents were very supportive. You, sweet child, the hospital. You wish to go to the hospital. What, you, Tatiana, the hospital? The hospital? Look at your womb, look at your eggs. Everything's well, nevertheless, there's still a chance it will not work. We have to try and see.
Part 1. A womb of one's own.
The enclosed and secret room has been a potent image in women's novels since Jane Eyre. But by the end of the century, it came to be identified with the womb and female conflict. The secret room, the attic hideaway, the suffragette cell, came to stand for a separate world, a flight from men and from adult sexuality.
Introduction.
Remember when the world became an itch for a deeper level? When a lot of us started to get the sense that almost everything around us is a laminated parody, trying to appeal to aesthetics and terror and assumed ignorance. When the world became as much spin-induced apathy and the contagion of scary thoughts, abstract capital and winsome graphics as anything intergalactic. When just switching between tabs on a laptop started to involve wading through multiple leagues of blubber between you and reality. When reality seemed to be a viable alternative, somewhere out there, and not just an invention cooked up in a vat of desperately hopeful psyches.
It was then that I decided it was time to get knocked up.
Oh, what is at the essence of this yearning to bring into this world a little child? I wonder if I'm right to cling to this so tight. Is it natural? And what does natural even mean? My life, right, is blissfully delicious. But what about career, my dreams and hopes? Do I crave normativity? Well, oopsie, my bad. Did I want to escape my set limits? Just a tad. And for that I get punished. But me, I'm not mad. There's just one little thing that I want, just one teensy thing that I want. I want the same damn rights. I want parental fights. I want no sleep at night, the sweet delight of being right. I want to raise new generations, men and women of our time. Not because I'm mean or selfish, I only want what's mine. I want a family, fulfill my destiny. Want little mini-me's to worship me, just jokingly. I want to meet my loving subject, and I solemnly vow that I'll raise my family. I want it now.
Setting.
In the room, two women, a baby. Baby, not on board yet. Baby, not boarding too late at Gatey. You know what I mean. We travel too much to make this work, she said. Stability, responsibility, and with a little voice I say, can the doctors see me now? How will we afford to live? When you start thinking of yourself as a mother, is it when you give birth, at conception, or when your uterus starts making saltos whenever you see a 2-year-old doing something so darn cute? How can I explain the urge to grow a tiny human? What is at the essence of this feeling of longing? Is it truly to raise a child, or is it another yearning I think a child will fill for me in my life? It has long been established that the deep feelings of wanting to have a child have their roots in a learned desire from strong, long-standing social and cultural pronatal influences, not biological ones. Deciding to become a mother is thus a political choice, not a natural given. The female body has been both territory, machine, virgin wilderness to be exploited, and assembly line turning out life. We need to imagine a world in which every woman is the presiding genius of her own body. In such a world, women will truly create new life, bringing forth not only children, if and as we choose, but the visions and the thinking necessary to sustain, console, and alter human existence. A new relationship to the universe. Sexuality, politics, intelligence, power, motherhood, work, community, intimacy will develop new meanings. Thinking itself will be transformed. This is where we have to begin.
Hang in there. Mothers want to shoot me when I say I want to change the world, one diaper at a time. Men want to sleep with me so they can give me life and meaning.
In a matter of a few decades, non-heterosexual females have gone from being cast as barren, sexual deviants, even monsters, who were destined to dwell outside kinship logics and reproductive time, to becoming potential mothers, bestowed with trust and raising future generations. Given the history of how feminine sexual deviances, such as sleeping with women, being unmarried, or engaging in commercial sex, were grounds for losing maternal rights, jobs, and for overall stigmatization, this is quite extraordinary. Becoming fertile, a process that involves the desire to reproduce, is actually quite a queer phenomenon. It is profoundly shaped by the effects of and access to fertility medicine itself. The association of femininity with reproduction, including but not limited to pregnancy, breastfeeding, mothering, and fertility, is a cultural fetish. And the question is, how do lesbian and other queer forms of engagement challenge and reproduce such a notion?
C/so/seed. Poor little thing, life is crazy, and who even has time for sex? Not me.
Assisted conception, such as IVF, which enables lesbian couples and single women to conceive, can, for example, can be understood as reducing rather than increasing patriarchal control over women's reproduction. Early feminist studies further identified the women in the process of reproduction as the body which reproductive technologies act on. That is the pregnant body. Women who occupy other positions in the reproductive processes, for example, women who experience conception from the position of being the partner of a pregnant woman, are unrecognized. I do not wish to imply that the bodily experience of a woman undergoing fertility treatment is the same as a partner who supports her through the process. However, the equating of woman with pregnant woman is heterosexually normative. It obscures a central feature of lesbian couples' reproduction. Whatever happened to my life? It was exciting at the start, or in our third round IVF, and I have no single hope left. I fear we tried for far too long, and that I just can't carry on. This is one unhappy griever. The doctors have deceived her. There is nothing I can sing from my heart. Whatever happened to my life? I can't ever have a beer. Always stuck because we're queer. Up to here with frustrations and with fears. I've no luck and no rewards. I've no baby on board. I'm constantly aware of what I eat. What I eat. God damn it! Whatever happened to our flow? I was happy, now I don't know. I'm with a woman whom I like, but that won't help to make this right. I might as well go to the pub. Maybe a drink will make this stop. Ignoring all the stress, no baby nonetheless. It seems to me I've really lost the plot. Whatever happened to my... I'll call my doctors, damn it. Whatever happened to my... Not yours. Not yours. But... my... life. Meanwhile, the techniques that control heterosexual reproduction have been increasingly externalized in recent decades. First, the female pill separated heterosexuality from reproduction, rendering obsolete the rationale that originally justified the hetero versus homosexual schematic as an opposition between normal reproductive and pathological non-reproductive sexualities. Second, with the advent of IVF, sexual recombination began to take place outside the body. Soon, the industrialization of the external womb will make the archaic distinction between masculinity and femininity obsolete too. The term heteronormativity has developed within studies of sexualities to denote how heterosexuality is produced as a normal sexual practice. Prevailing norms of heterosexuality can be understood as operating on multiple social levels. The concept of heteronormativity does not encompass the full complexity of social dimensions of heterosexuality. I use heteronormativity to describe the way in which heterosexuality is normatively constructed, both socially and culturally. The term heterosexual imaginary was developed as a critique of unacknowledged and under-theorized heterosexuality. In feminist sociology, in Graham's heterosexual imaginary refers to the way in which heterosexuality is normalized and hence is considered to require neither exploration or explanation, while gender is understood and analyzed as a social construct. Heterosexuality remains the normal. In Graham states, the heterosexual imaginary is that way of thinking which conceals the operation of heterosexuality in structuring gender and closes off any critical analysis of heterosexuality as an organizing institution. The effect of this depiction is that heterosexuality circulates as taken for granted, naturally occurring and unquestioned, while gender is understood as socially constructed and central to the organization of everyday life. It is clear that the heteronormative ideal of gender equality revolves around the problem that pregnancy and motherhood pose to equality between men and women in the labor market as well as the home, also shapes understandings of equality in same-sex families. The overarching argument is that biology both does and does not matter. It might be important in the forming of kinship, but not in the forming of care. Both heteronormative gender equality and lesbian mother-parenthood, I contend, thus require the downplaying of the difference that pregnancy poses. When the idea of same-sex motherhood rests on an idea of gendered sameness, becoming fertile means that lesbians and other queer women are drawn into a heteronormative discourse in which the position of mother remains singular and thus must be shared equally. I would argue that an ideology of gender equality that departs from a white middle-class nuclear family logic inevitably leads to an idea of parental equality that requires sameness or the absence of difference. Among lesbians, the difference that fertility, pregnancy, gestational motherhood makes is understood as problematic primarily when it risks undermining the status of the other partner, or when it results in a division of labor that can mimic that of heteronormativity and women's subordination in a heterosexist world.
Pause. Little shrug, maybe crying. Now the results are in. What am I going to do with myself? Now I am all out of spark. Just when now is the time, for greatness, for breaking out, for change. I put my hands on my belly. Empty. Baby? Too little future, too much future. Sometimes a catastrophe bleeds life. Also, how to fluidly move from spoken text to song. I'm no fucking Stephen Sondheim.
I was told that the best way to bring home a baby is sleeping with men that I randomly choose. I never thought of stuff like penetration as building stones to make my child. Then of course it is easy to get super sleazy and go to the bar with just one thing in mind. They seem to forget, oh, I don't feel attracted to people who don't need a bra. So of course I feel bra, cause the thing that is most on my mind. As a true lesbian, I would never make out with a guy. For You're a lady that loves other ladies, I must say. Naturally, I feel that nature missed out the chance of a lifetime to give us a high time and prove what two mothers can do. Won't you look at me, God, won't you look at me? Look at my mother, heart bleeding lost. I never thought I'd miss out on a life path simply because I am gay. If you feel that I just must rest all the hope that I have left for a child I will get, you are wrong, I will not go to bed. I have known my mother, I have lost my mother, and I feel that awakening fire inside of all my life's wishes and all my ambitions. Motherhood standing more tall. Can't you see what your well-intent suggestions do to me? Rob me of my sexual identity. I can take slander and misplaced assumptions, but straight I will sure never be. So please stop suggesting a way to make babies for free. I don't care, I fact money, yes I'm part of the LGBT.
Thanks, all of you. We have arrived at the end of the IMPAKT Festival, at least at the end in this hall. Tonight we'll continue with a little after party, the Longing Disco, that's outside in the bar. Tomorrow we have a full day of online events, repeats of the broadcast of everything we've recorded here at the festival. Of course, also the museum, Centraal Museum is open, where you can see the Modern Love exhibition. And the IMPAKT Center for Media Culture is open, where you can see the second part of the Modern Love exhibition. I would like to thank all our funders and our partners. And of course, I would like to thank the entire IMPAKT team, especially those who made these intricate projections, remote calls-ins possible, bringing people from the United States, from all over France, together with the people here in the auditorium. I think they did a wonderful job. I would like to I would like to thank all the volunteers, without whom, of course, making such a festival is impossible. I enjoyed very much the work of all the artists, the speakers, the moderators here. And there's one person that I would like to thank, especially for the program that we did together, and that's Katrina Gregos. Katrina, please come on stage. Oh, yeah. It was wonderful. Is there something you want to say? You don't need to.
No, I just also want to thank the IMPAKT wonderful, wonderful team. I'm truly, I think I said this already, but I'll say it in public as well. I'm truly amazed by your professionalism, your good spirit, your warmth, and most of all, your hospitality, which I have to say rivals, if doesn't excel, Greek hospitality. So I want to thank everyone very much, and also the audience. It's been a wonderful experience, full of warmth, I have to say, a lot of interesting things to think about, and we are looking forward to reciprocate the hospitality in Athens.
And I'm looking forward to that. Vrouwtje, our managing director, and we bought you a present. We'll give that to you later. To close, I would like to simply ask you a warm applause for all the people who made it possible. Our funders, our volunteers. Thanks a lot. Enjoy the rest of the night, the longing disco in the bar, and hope to see you.